Hello again. I'm with Michael Finnis from the
Goolwa Motor Museum. You got it right.
It's taken about 4 attempts to get that. And we're sort of upstairs. There's an upstairs section to that, or do you like to call this the mezzanine level?
Well, that's what it was when I bought it.
So we're on the mezzanine level, and there's quite a few of the smaller. I can see a Willys. Is that a Willys Jeep?
Yeah, that belongs to my daughter now, so I've given that to her.
And an Austin 7?
Austin 7, yes.
And an old Fiat Nicky up the end there.
Yes, a Nicky, yes.
I can't quite make out the cars in between us and there. There's 4 or 5 cars in between.
There's actually an Opel there that came to Australia to be Australia's first Holden, and Mr. Hitler started his shenanigans, and they canned it. And it came out here right-hand drive, and I found it in a shed with all the history of it from GM8. So,
well, I've been to the Trafalgar Holden Museum. So GM shipped out, Opel, their subsidiary, shipped out a car that they thought could be suitable for Australia.
The right-hand drive for Australia, and then that was going to be our first Holden before the FJ.
So it was shipped out for testing purposes, or
test down to be put into production in 1935 or 6. GMH bought it out, and I had all the paperwork with it when I bought the car.
And we've got a couple of Honda S600s,
yeah.
Two of them. So you're quite fond of those?
Well, it's just that 2 came along. I actually had 3. When I bought one of them, I looked out at the guy's paddock and I said, "What's that out there?" And he said, "A Honda S600 Coupe." And I said, "What are you going to do with that?" He said, "It's going down the dump." So I said, "You can't do that." Well, he gave it to me. So we stuck it up on the roof of Collectible Classics, and it was up there for 20 years. So, and I gave it to an old boy, and he's restored it, and his son drives around the streets now.
They both look fantastic.
Yeah. One of them's had a lot of money spent on it.
I'm guessing that the second one.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But both are in fantastic condition. Yeah. But the reason I dragged you up onto the mezzanine level, Michael, was to have a look at these two.
Don't come up here often.
A bit of a climb. It's a high mezzanine level. So we've got the Lloyd.
Lloyd, yes.
And we've also got, which was a car I was particularly interested in, the Lightburn Zeta. Now,
dreadful bloody thing.
Dreadful bloody thing. We've spoken about cars that are made in Australia. We've obviously Holden, Ford, Chrysler, Valiants. I think Renault's or Toyotas, obviously, were built here. Are there any others? The Goggomobile?
Yes, the Goggomobile and the Zeta. But you'd have to ask why.
You'd have to ask why. So, Michael, we're just discussing the Zeta.
Absolutely.
And you don't particularly like this car.
Oh, they could hardly be called a car, but anyway, they become very collectible, and somebody actually offered me 10 grand for this the other day, and it's up here for life as far as I'm concerned. So.
You can't be bothered taking it down. How do you get your cars up here? And you've got a...
It was in the building when I bought it, but this was never going to be a museum. It was only somewhere to store my cars, and kids in my workshop taught me into starting a museum.
So, like the Goggomobile, we're looking at a 2-stroke?
Yes. Yeah.
And they were. Do you know when they were manufactured from?
No, it's probably in the 60s somewhere, I think. Yeah, I don't really know much about it. I only bought it for a joke, really. It was on a friend's front veranda. I'd been there for 20 years, and I bought it in pretty bad condition, and we got it going and painted it, and now, because of what it is, because I only made a few years for these, and I believe there are only 6, either 6 made or 6 left, and it's very rare now. So
no, I think there are 6 or 7 left. I think they made more than that.
They could have. I don't know anything about them. Only that I suddenly bought it for a laugh, and glad we saved it.
Yeah, well, you can see where they've sort of tried to save money. I mean, the bumper bar doesn't go all the way across. And a nice big radiator. Was the engine in the front of this one or the back?
No, I think it's in the front of this one. I'm not an expert on Zetas. Ask me about MGs, but not Zetas. So.
Okay. But you do know that it did the Repco reliability trial, because you've got some of the posters here.
I don't know how it did that. I wouldn't have liked to have been in it.
I would suggest on the back of a tray van, and they'd wheel it off and then make it cross the finish line. That's the only way I can see how it finished it.
Well, it should have been.
Yeah. Could you imagine driving in Outback Australia in this thing? No air conditioning, 3 forward speeds, I think. So. And I doubt that it had synchro on first.
I don't think so. I don't know. I've never driven it. So the kids in the workshop drove it. I didn't drive it.
Okay, well, this is the Zeta. There are lots and lots of different cars up at the Goolwa Motor Museum, There's there'd be about 15 cars up on the mezzanine level.
15 up here.
15 up here. And because we stuffed up an earlier attempt at doing the two Valiants, we're going to go down there for one final shoot and do the Valiants. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed looking and learning a little bit more about the Lightburn Zeta. Thank you.
Thank you.